Speaking of high conviction bets, there was a new Harvard Business Review case study out this week. And I'll be honest, I don't know what people think of what we do when we're not on live stream or on camera here, Ben, but I'm not a huge reader of the Harvard Business. I don't sit leafing through the pages over my cup of steaming hot cocoa in the I don't know. I don't drink coffee. I don't really drink tea. Maybe cocoa in the winter. I'm not sitting there leafing through the pages, but one did catch my eye this week. It's a case study on how to automate in manufacturing. This is one of the great topics here on the Steam Zone, Ben. So I'm going to give you a little flavor of what was in here, and then I want to hear your thoughts because, surprise, Ben, another example of where automation in manufacturing, a lot of talk, a lot of hype, not so much action. I think our president once said, all talk, no action, automation. That's what you got there. So in the United States, only 12% of factories today have any robots in them. Okay, 12%. Any robot, not all robot, any robot. Just 6% of all American factories have automated at any kind of scale. Robot density in the United States, meaning, okay, how many robots do we have per worker? It currently stands at 295 units per 10,000 workers. Compare that to Japan, that's at 419, Germany at 429, China at 470. And who do you think leads the pack, Ben?
China?
South Korea. South
wow.
Korea at 1,012 robots per 10,000 worker. About 10% is actually robots in South Korea. That's interesting. So the thing that stuck out to me from this case study was this quote from a CEO of one of these manufacturing companies, which is that actually our great gap here is it's not even manufacturing of robots. It's not manufacturing of software to run on the robots. It's that taking over human tasks, in other words, automation, requires an incredible amount of human expertise. The one line is that there is nothing more manual than automation. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I think this ties into a lot of themes we're talking about, which is probably at some level you can't vibe code your way to automation, right? And I think it hits on some other themes, right? Which is there's nothing good or bad, like what Bradley Tusk is talking about. Is maybe automation will create more jobs, right? For the smart companies that do it well, right? And so we're out here and a reasonable worry, and I'm not saying it's not a reasonable worry, totally. I'm worried AI is coming for me. But maybe automation, there is some job growth with it too, right? And then for really smart companies, maybe small manufacturers will beat the giants, right? When we think about startups getting in the game, they just have less bureaucratic integration nightmares, right? When it comes to building automations, and they can be automation first in a way. But I think the truth is, and it ties to what we just talked about in Y Combinator, which is it's going to be tough to be an automation expert when you haven't run a factory, when you haven't built there. So we're going to need to send really smart people to factories to see how it's done now, understand these manual processes, and then start building again it, right? But if we are just doing this with the way we did B2B productivity tools and SaaS, I don't know we're going to get there where we need to get. And so if you haven't gotten a robot to load one part into another ever, I don't know if you should be talking about how you're going to be an automation expert and AI transformation of your business. So I think this is great. I think this is it's really in some ways heartwarming to read because it confirms my biases, which is there's nothing good or bad. Things are hard. The details matter. But no, I'm excited for the future where we send people to factories, send our best and brightest to factories instead of to consulting firms. And then they come up with really great ways after they become experts into how to make it better.
I think we're circling on a theme for this week, Ben, which is that there's training still matters. Okay, learning still matters. Development still matters. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to become a great entrepreneur. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to move into the future. YC's underscoring this bias with their program. These guys are saying the same thing. This stuff takes time. The way to become an expert at something, I don't know if it's Gladwell's 10,000 hours, but you got to do it. You got to do a lot of it. You got to really immerse yourself in it. So finding high conviction bets of areas of interest, problems you deeply care about, you wake up thinking about in the morning, you spend all day working on them, and you want to do it again tomorrow, that's where you're going to drive expertise. This article, I hope, is received in the way that I believe it's meant to be intended, which is it's the same as these AI adoption studies. There was another one from MIT last week. 93% of AI adoption, Gen AI has brought no value. Folks, we're in the first inning. We are in the top of the first. We're in the first quarter of the game. We're at the first move on the chessboard. Like, use whatever analogy you need to get it through your brain that just because we don't have instant gratification, the adoption of new technology doesn't mean the technology is bunk. It means we're just getting started. So if you want to stick your head in the sand and say, my AI dev tool didn't fully vibe code my entire website with one click the first time I did it, wake the fuck up, people. That didn't exist 6 months ago. You couldn't do any of that. The 0 to 1 process is hard. We're making small, everything happens slowly and then it happens all at once. Keep an eye on autonomous vehicles, right? Slow, slow. When the dam breaks, they're going to be everywhere. Same thing with drones. Is the 20-year overnight success in commercial drones. Slow, when the dam breaks, these things in our lifetime will be buzzing outside the window. It is the people who are going to see returns, both financially and on productivity, are the people who stay in the fight and who commit to learning this stuff and have enough conviction to see it through. So instant gratification culture, not for tech adoption, not for transformation. This is maybe, I don't know, Ben, this is maybe one of the only things I took away from I shouldn't say that. Stay in the fight. That's the message. Stay in the fight. All right, let's close that one out.